Hi, everybody. This is Chris with Invest LYH, and I'm just going to do a quick video here on the pending housing transaction crash in the Lynchburg market. So let's take a quick look here. I'm going to share my screen. You guys know, you guys know that I like to uh, go ahead and show you these things with graphs. That's how I learned economics, is by looking at the different supply and demand functions. So let's look at one really quickly. Generally, what happens is with a supply and demand curve meet, the equilibrium is the price. And when demand shifts to the left, right, the price drops because here's the price one and here's price two, right? If we were to see, it kind of falls down the curve there. That's what generally happens. Like if you go to a store and there's a t-shirt selling and it's a hot item and then they get a new shipment in, if they raise the price, it'll limit the demand a little bit, but they'll make up for it on that additional price that spread that they changed. That is not how it happens in the housing market. The housing market is a little bit different. We've looked at the continuum here where they have the luxury homes and the starter homes, and then you have the middle homes. And generally what happens is people enter here, they move up here, they move a few times, and then they get to their finishing home. And at some point in life, what they do when they retire and they don't have children, they don't have needs for multiple rooms, is they're going to sell this off outside and they're going to move somewhere else and probably rent for the rest of their lives because they're probably going to be a little bit mobile, or they're going to move closer to family. So in the real estate market, what we're seeing is that the demand, so if I were to move over here, right, this demand curve for this market, because each one of these markets has a supply and a demand function, right? But this one is shifting significantly to the left because generally the buyers for these homes are from the same sector, right? So you're going to move up here, and then once you're here, you're going to move up here several times. You're going to become a buyer for that area several times. Well, now the people here, let's go ahead and erase a little bit of this, right? Now the people here are stuck in 3% and 4% mortgages, so they're not making these purchases along this continuum. So the demand curve for this particular sector has dropped significantly. So what does that mean, right? That means that these two curves on these ends, right, are actually causing the market to change. The demand curve for the early on, the starter homes, it grows every day. There's more people who want to buy a home every day. Now, at some point with interest rates, this demand curve will soften and it might even start falling backwards. We have a lot of fear right now in the market in that, and that's why this demand curve up here is pretty stagnant as well. Because generally at these higher end price points, not necessarily here in Lynchburg, but I moved here from Dallas, and there was an area of Dallas that you weren't buying a home with a mortgage. So you were just trading dollars for dollars there. And generally in the higher end million-plus homes, you don't tend to see a lot of mortgages there. Maybe 5 million now. It's been a year since I was in the mortgage market. But generally people have cash for that. So they have a significant life event, or they have significant income where they can save for multiple years and do that. So if, with that all being said, right, how is the market going to crash? Well, the Lynchburg market, let's go over here, is going to crash in transactions. But not price. Now, why is that? Let's go back to our market components here. If we divide up the market, right? Oh, the bulk of the transactions are right here that move the median, which is the middle price, up or down. Well, if there's no transactions there, the median is going to be moved by the ends, by over here or by over here, right? These people can hold cash and wait. The people who want to get into the market, they generally will not hold their cash. They will get in. So what's going to happen is this segment, the demand will be pushed outward, which will raise prices even small enough where it's going to take this middle here, right? And we're going to shift the end up. So if we shift the end up here, right? What happens to this middle? It has to shift, even if it's slightly. So what we're going to see in the Lynchburg market is transactions will fall, but prices will either remain the same or have a slight uptick. And why is that? Because we measure it in median price, which means 50% above and 50% below. And if that continuum, the 50%, right, is shifted upward even slightly without an equal shift on this end, then this price point has to shift upward. If this shifts up 10%, this has to shift up something. It doesn't have to be an equal 10%, but it will shift up something because it is the exact middle of the price point within the marketplace. So I hope this video helped you out. I am testing out the Lynchburg crash, right? LYH crash. I want to see if you guys are looking for a crash, because from what I see in the economics of it, it will not crash. Because the other thing that can cause a crash in terms of prices, right, if we were to look at a supply and demand curve, is an increase in supply. So right, we were looking at the demand curve, but if we had the supply curve, if it shifted outwards because we have more supply, right, then that's where price one and price two have a significant difference. It's a decrease. Where is that supply coming from is my question. A lot of people online think that there's going to be a crash in prices. I just don't see it. People have to live in a house somewhere. They're not going to sell their $200,000 home, right, at a price of, let's say, $1,100 per month because they have a good interest rate and move somewhere for $1,500 with less square footage, less bedrooms. That's not going to happen. So I hope you guys like this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. There we go. Thanks so much, guys. You guys have a great day.